Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Teacup Tarot. I hope all of you are happy and are doing well. And honestly, even before I begin this video, there is something that I really want to share with you guys, and that is this book. So, I recently have come across this book. In fact, this was suggested to me by a friend, and she loved it, and she was like, "You have to read it." And just like 2-3 chapters in, I was hooked, and hence, I really want to share this with you, because at any point of time, if you guys have ever felt like you've given your power away, you've settled for something, or you are living short of the life that you think you deserve, this is a book that you need to absolutely read. Trust me, it'll change your life. Yeah, of course, I'll give a link for this again, so it'll be easier for you to find. Now, we are going to be taking messages from your spirit guides once again, because what I've been sensing is, especially starting from yesterday evening, like the connection has become very strong, like the messages are coming in more powerfully. So I do expect the next week and the week after that to be one where the shift is going to be magical, and it'll enable you to deepen your own connection with your spirit guides, because that is coming on very strongly even before I begin this video. Now, you have 4 piles in front of you. Please pick one that really speaks to you. Of course, if you're called to listening to more than one pile, you are welcome to do that as well. I know a lot of people like to do that, and it makes sense, because we are all coming together. It's like we are one people. So, do as you please, yeah? I'll give you some time and we'll start with pile 1. Hello, and if you've picked pile 1, then these are messages from your spirit guides, and let's see what they have to tell you. Now, first of all, your guides are trying to tell you that it is important for you to trust yourself, to take you through all the seasons of your life. Because what I sense is, the next couple of weeks are like going to be majorly transforming when it comes to you and your life. Like internally, your internal landscape will shift tremendously. The sense I have here is you will start becoming more trusting. Like in the past, probably you may have struggled a lot with giving up control, of surrendering. But as you move forward in this journey, I sense that the process of surrender is going to be so much more easier for you. What I believe is in the upcoming days, there will be a realization of your part that everything is connected, that everything that is happening to you in your life right now, it is happening for a reason, and you will sort of understand those things. You'll understand those reasons is also what is coming through here. So this is like wisdom coming forth. This is like those aha moments, so those moments are very much going to be a part of your existence in the upcoming days, is what I see. Also, this is like an indication of you shedding past skin and taking up a new skin once again. Like this is a completely different way of being for you, something that you're not used to, but something you are comfortable exploring is something that is coming through for you. Either way, the guidance that you're going to be getting, it's going to be very strong. Yeah, just keep that in mind. And also, what is coming forth for you, again, like I said, your life is going to be changing a lot, but this is because your alignment is perfect. Like you'll realize that the way you have been living will not serve you anymore. And honestly, I sort of sense this thing, like you're tired of the struggle, you're tired of sort of pushing against the current, and you will sort of come to a realization that maybe there is something about just giving up the struggle and seeing where the stream of life is taking you. And trust me, this is very much that sense of growing up that is coming through, no matter what your age, whether you're 6 or you're 60, there is this sense of maturity that is going to come into your experience, okay? Again, I'm also seeing you'll be letting go of a lot of things, okay? Letting go of a certain mindset is what is coming through very strongly. But I sense as you let go of the old, the new that will now show up is going to be something that will really surprise you. Like you were not expecting this part to be a part of you in this lifetime, okay? So this is like you coming face to face with an entirely new version of you. Like you will experience new emotions, you will experience new way of looking at old things is also coming to you very strongly. for a couple of people. In fact, there is also a movement aspect here, so maybe a travel is very much on the cards for you. For some people, this can actually be moving to a different house or planning to move to a different place. Now this of course cannot happen immediately, but this is definitely a part of your future. I see this decisiveness on your part to shift from one location to another. Of course, this is in the mental realm as well, but this may actually happen in your physical realm as well. So, what is happening is whatever lessons you were meant to learn, where you are right now, you've learned it and it is time for you to move on. So, that is another message that is really coming through again. What you're required to do during this point of time is to once again, as your inert understanding is telling you, to have patience and to just see where the current of life is taking you. And honestly, what happens is sometimes we are not used to giving up control. Like, I am not used to giving up control, so this may feel like it is like testing you in some cases, but understand, when we are being tested, it is only because we are ready for the process. This is like your spirit guide standing right next to you and telling you, even though you may feel this process is difficult, you are ready for it. And one thing that I really want to encourage you is to maintain a journal, of your thoughts, and to maintain a journal of this progress, because in the future you may want to look back at it, is also something that is coming through very strongly. Again, what's coming through here is you are undertaking a process of nourishing yourself, of nourishing your mind, your soul, your body. That is coming forward. There are parts of you that may have been damaged in the past, and now you are consciously making the effort to set things right, is what is coming through for you. So this is like the healing at its ultimate best. And when it comes to healing, sometimes it comes with a lot of tears, it comes with a certain amount of anguish, but post that you will be ready to move on. This is like a completion, this is like you are ready, and that is what your spirit guides are here to tell you. At this point of time, what your spirit guides are encouraging you to do, they are encouraging you to look back at your life and look at all the beautiful moments. Because what happens is sometimes, especially when people are going through difficulties, we tend to reflect much more on difficult times. Like, for example, there may be 10 people who say something really nice about you, but yet you will focus on that one person who possibly criticized you, and that is a human tendency. I tend to do that as well. So right now your spirit guides are asking you to be focused on the people who recognized the goodness in you, who recognized that you are beautiful, who gave you a compliment, who are always encouraging you on your journey. And this is really, really looking back in your mind's eye and thanking those people, because those have been the people who've played the life of your guides in this earthly plane by giving you the best, giving you that encouragement, giving you the love that you needed at the point where you most needed it. Okay, so instead of focusing on people who did bad to you, focus on the people who recognize the goodness and beauty in you. That is also something that is coming forth for you. Now, as you move into this journey, of course, you're being asked to surrender certain esteem issues that you may have. See, in certain points in different people's life, what happens is we may want abundance, but somehow we feel like we don't deserve it, or we feel like we are not good enough, and maybe the best things in life may not come to us, and that is just our low self-esteem talking. And in some cases, this is just our past conditioning talking. So now, as you move forward in your journey, you're being asked to recognize that certain things are being blocked from you because of your own constant state of thinking that maybe I don't deserve this much. You deserve so much, you deserve everything, and maybe there are these parts of yourself that are coming in the way of your progress, coming like sort of an obstacle when it comes to you finding the best love in life, finding the best success in life, and finding abundance in life. Okay, so make sure you release that patterns of low self-esteem is something that is coming forth for you. Again, at this point, I want to really remind you guys that you are not alone in this entire process. Okay, if you are comfortable with it, make sure to reach out to friends, especially because what I sense is at this point of time in your life, people other people are going to be very important. It is important for you not to isolate yourself if you have a tendency to do that. Like, invite people in your life, let them come with love. You need to receive that love is coming forth very strongly, because we all need support at different points in our life. And don't be afraid for asking for that support from your family, from your friends, from your relative. Make sure to share your feelings, make sure you open up, because if you keep bottled up, the rich relationships that now can be a part of your experience will be slightly hampered. Okay, so open your heart and just, speak, express yourself, and welcome the relationships that you will form now. Again, this can be relationship with your spirit guides, but more strongly, this is about people in your life that you need to open the doors to once again. Yeah, again, what is coming through here is, you have to learn to be okay with wherever you are in your life's journey. See, in our journey of life, there are seasons. Some are pleasant, some are beautiful, whereas others are seasons of lessons. So you need to understand that you need to start feeling at home in all seasons of your life. See, if your mind remains constant, if you try and just steady your emotions slightly, you will then gain the wisdom out of it. See, I do understand it is not easy to look at the wisdom or to look at the lessons when you're going through tough seasons of your life, but that is exactly what will reveal the kind of metal you've been made at. I always read in the comment section, is it ever going to get better? See, the thing with life is, it's never going to be picture perfect. One thing comes to an end, you will have moments of happiness, you will have moments of joy, but since life operates in cycle, you will come across newer lessons, and that's the way life operates. Life is not about finding that one peak of joy, because that is not how it is. So don't sort of seek out joy, don't seek out happiness, seek out pleasantness, beauty in everyday circumstances, because this place of happiness, this place of joy is a mythical place. Yeah, so there is no such thing as an optimum success. There are just beautiful moments of success, beautiful moments of happiness, and those are the moments you need to cherish. Okay, and if you can really have your mind trained for it, you will actually learn to see the beauty of everyday things. And when you learn to see beauty in even circumstances that are not ideal, you will sort of become so much more calmer, so much more happier in your own skin. And also you will realize that life doesn't always have to be such a big struggle, and you'll start easing into the process. Okay, so life is not about reaching a destination, it is about enjoying all beautiful parts of the journey, and that is one lesson, pile one, you are meant to learn. So right now it is important for you to let people in, let experiences in, and not to block yourself. Okay, again, this is about your thought system. What is happening here is, you have a vision of life, which is excellent. We all should have a vision of your life, but when life doesn't match it point by point, you tend to be disappointed. So try and not be very disappointed, and just enjoy those little moments, because even those little moments for you, pile one, are beautiful. But because of a certain amount of conditioning that you have of perfection, you sort of miss out on those things. Okay, so please make sure these ideals that you've set up for yourself, sometimes that are very difficult to meet, you let those go, and you'll start looking at life with an entirely new set of eyes. So maybe this is also a transformation that will come as you work towards it. But understand, your life in the next 2 to 3 months especially is going to transform massively. And I do believe after a certain amount of inner work is done, after a certain amount of reflection is done, things will become so much more easier for you than they were before. It will require patience, it will require a lot of understanding on your part, but it will happen. That is what I see for you. Yeah, so those are messages from your spirit guides. I hope you've enjoyed them, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye. Hello, and if you've selected pile 2, then these are the messages you're meant to receive from your spirit guide. So let us look into what do you need to hear today. Alright, firstly, what I'm getting here is pile 2, you need to stand up for yourself. If there are certain things that need to be said, you need to be strong enough to be able to say it. See, sometimes what happens is we tend to dim our light to make somebody else feel comfortable. You need to understand that you need to own this space. You need to understand that you belong, that your voice is important, and it needs to be expressed in a specific way. That is something that's coming through for you. Because what is going to happen is, as you move forward in this journey, if you sort of dim your shine, if you sort of, fall short of expressing certain things, people will take that as a sign of weakness from you. So in the future, if you feel like there are certain moments where you need to express, please make sure you do that. Okay. Also, what's important here is to reflect and understand at where and what point of time in your life did you give your power away. And I think that inner reflection will really help you. And what I want you to do is, I want you to question yourself, like, why at those points did I give my power away? Was I too conscious? Was I too afraid? Or did I feel like, I was out of place when it comes to something? Because there has to be this little bit of a break to sort of reflect on your journey so far. Because unless you learn lessons, things will keep repeating time and again. Because what is with you, there is this loop, like not expressing yourself, regretting it, and the process repeats itself once again. So you need to fix it, is something that's really coming very, very strongly for you. At this point of time, what is coming through here as well, if you sort of live life unconsciously, if you live in a way like, okay, I'm just gonna brush this under the carpet, I'm just gonna let my emotions not be there, I'm gonna let them remain unresolved, this is something that will come back and haunt you in the future, is what is coming forth. Also, what I want to do is, I want you to set certain visions for yourself, like what kind of a person do you want to be in the future. You have to have a clear understanding of where your life is heading at this point, is something that I'm really getting here. Because what I sense is, there is too much of a flow happening for you. Going with the flow is very good to a certain extent, but for your life, a concrete plan is something that you really, really need. So what is the vision that you have for your life? Really, really reflect on it. Because what I sense is, there is a certain amount of completion to your journey, like a way of being, a way of reaction needs to come to an end, is what is coming forth for you. Because if you take a look at both of these cards, the number that you have is number 9. So for you, pile 2, one thing that I get very strongly, your life path is taking you in an entirely different direction. Okay, and for you to head in that direction and to find success in that direction, certain old ways need to come to an end. Also, if you are moving into something new, you have to be careful to the very minute details. Also, what I see for you in the future, you may actually be in the process of signing certain very important documents. Now, these could be for a document of a house, this could be documents for a new job. Either way, just don't trust people blindly, is something that is really coming forth for you. You need to stand and do your own research, is also something that is coming forth strongly. Don't take anybody else just for their word, is something that's really coming through. This is like a warning. Okay, don't be so trusting that people then take that for granted. Okay, that's really coming out for you. But at the same time, you need to let go of this inner sense of you that you need to control people. Like, or what I'm really getting is, you may be people who right now or in the next phase of your life, as you're entering into something new, you may feel like you need to control everything. You need to control what you say, you need to control the way you look, and then what you expect is, you expect people to react in a specific way. And sometimes that doesn't happen. The way we want people to react and the way people react or associate with us are something completely different. The only person that you can control, the only person's reaction you can control, is you yourself. So don't expect too much out of people at this point of time, is also something that is really coming forth for you. But at the same time, There are new people now coming into your life. There are new experiences coming for you to experience as well. I'm really getting this sense of newness, like the past being over and you heading into a new direction. Also, for a couple of people, I sense that a certain kind of a career, a certain kind of a job is coming to an end and you're moving in an entirely different direction. So please make sure to reflect on your career area as well and see whatever it is that you're doing, are you really enjoying it, or are you in it just for the paycheck? If you are in it for the paycheck and you're okay with it, that's of course okay. But is this something that you will enjoy doing in the long run as well, is something you need to ask yourself. If you feel like some things don't belong, or certain choices that you make in the past no longer hold true for you, don't be afraid of making these changes. Don't be afraid of letting go, okay? Because change is something that I really see coming into your life. Because what I sense is, in the past, the kind of choices you've made, especially career related choices, you've chosen to settle. Like you are like okay being the second position. You're okay not being the most important person in the room. But pile 2, you are the most important person in the room. And if the important person in the room dulls their shy, that is like a disservice to everybody. Like this is like imagining the sun. The sun is meant to be glorious. But if the sun decides that he is not comfortable anymore to shine at its brightest, what will happen? It's like the sun not being true to himself. That is something that I see for you. So don't become so wrapped up in other people's opinion that you forget to shine, that you forget to be your authentic self with your own authentic choices, is something that is coming up very strongly for you. Like I said, once again, it is important for you to shift your perception, especially shift your perception regarding certain past events. Because pile 2, this overwhelming sense I've gotten here is, in the past, in multiple situations, you've given your power away and you realize you gave your power away, and there is also this slight amount of regret that you're carrying with you. So see, regret doesn't take anybody anywhere. So it is important for you, one, to understand that that happened to you, and second is for you to make that decision that you're not going to let that happen ever in the future. Okay, this is almost a spiritual rebirth for you, and you are being given a fresh opportunity to live in a life that truly speaks to you, is what is coming out for you. Celebrate yourself, celebrate your uniqueness, because pile 2, you are not like anybody else. You're sort of the black sheep when it comes to a group of people. But embrace that, celebrate that, because there are very few people who have the courage to be the black sheep. Okay. And again, what's coming forth for you is you are moving in an entirely new direction, definitely. But at the same time, don't let this become into something that is forced. If you feel like you want to make that movement, make that movement. But don't expect other people to be on the same page as you. Sometimes it's okay to not have everybody agree with you. And sometimes you just need to have that faith in yourself and move away from certain situations. This is like you starting a new process once again. And for a lot of people, this is you moving from what is comfortable and taking that first step into the unknown. Okay, the unknown can be scary in certain cases, but for you, you are ready, is what I'm getting here. Don't force yourself, take gentle steps, but again, put that one foot in front of the other and walk into this new path that the life has set forth for you. Again, don't try to control people, don't try to control their reaction. If something is right for you, it is right for you, and nobody else will really have a say about it. Yeah, so those are your messages from your spirit guides. Very different and unique kind of messages I sense, because there is a lot going on for you right now, is what I sense. Okay, either way, don't try and fit in. You were meant to stand out. Pile 2, always remember that. I'll see you in my next one. Bye. Hello, and if you've selected pile 3, then these are your messages from your spirit guides. Now, what I sense for you is 1 pile 3, there is going to be a new spirit guide in your life, okay? And this spirit guide is an ascended master, somebody who is very knowledgeable, somebody who is of an entirely different level altogether. Like, this is a person who's lived a physical life, but once again, let me clarify, this is not going to be a family member or someone you knew. This is a person who's lived on the earthly plane hundreds of years before you, and the kind of experiences he has, he is very wise, and he feels like you may require his assistance at this very particular point of time in the phase of life that you are in. Of course, you need to understand that you have to work with him, because he is here to take you to a different plane entirely. So I see a lot of spiritual progress coming into your journey, okay? So I see a change of beliefs, a shift in belief entirely for you guys. And what is important for you is to be open to the process, to be teachable is what is coming forth. Don't try and be like a know-it-all. Even in terms of your life, if you feel somebody is saying something to you, even though you may have knowledge about it, try to listen to it as a beginner, because our spirit guides, our ascended masters, they teach us sometimes through other people. So be open to the experience of learning is something that is coming through for you. Also, there are a lot of new choices that you're going to be making in your life, okay? What is important as you move forward is not to compromise, not to compromise on your beliefs, not to compromise on the essence of who you are. If something doesn't feel right, it is okay for you to say no to the entire experience, okay? One thing, when you're doing something, when you're speaking something, do it with a sense of integrity. Also, the element of truth is going to be very important right now. So as you move forward, see, anybody who chooses an ascended master, speaking the truth, walking the path of truth becomes very, very important. So in the past, if you've been, the kind of person who got away with certain kind of compromise, now is not that time. Walk your truth, speak from a place of empathy, but truth is very, very important for you. Again, you need to recognize at what point of time in your life did you lie to yourself just to make yourself feel better. See, what happens is sometimes in relationships, we can just plainly see that it's not meant to be, or the person is just lying to us or is being dishonest to us. This can happen in all aspects of relationship, romantic, friendships, family relationships. Don't fool yourself is a message that is coming forth. If certain things come across as not right, be willing to accept that it is not right and it is the way it is, okay? It is important for you to recognize the truth in your life is what is coming forth. And don't be stubborn, okay? Because I sense the new spirit guide that is coming through is going to push your boundaries to the very extent. And sometimes when somebody is trying to push our boundaries or pushing us out of our levels, we tend to resist it. But it is very important right now to be open, to be teachable, like I told you before. So if you feel like certain choices that you have made in the past no longer belong, or you're being shifted, like your perception about things are being shifted, be open to it. Because what will happen is, if you stubbornly stick to certain people, if you stubbornly stick to certain aspects of truth that no longer are true in your life, you will be doing yourself the greatest amount of disservice. Because in the end, truth is the truth, and the truth is something that cannot be changed, okay? So gently but surely work with the truth and align yourself with the truth of who you are, and recognize the truth of other people is also something that's coming through very strongly. See, what is happening is, this new spirit guide that is coming forth in your life is, he is trying to take away everything that is false in your life. And when nothing that is false remains, it's all about the truth, okay? And what that happens is, it sets you free. It sets you free to live a beautiful and a wholesome life is what is coming forth, okay? What is going to happen is, you are going to be a very strong version of yourself. This is also a very strong ancestral energy that is coming forth for you. Also, it is important for you to again tune into the energy of your ancestors. Maybe hold a ritual for them, give a thank you to them, because I sense the the new spirit guide that is now coming into your experience, it has happened because of a certain involvement of an ancestor in your life. Okay, I also sense a huge shamanic guide's presence here. Okay, so this is an ancestor who was a very learned person in himself, or somebody who is very spiritual, and because of his spiritual practice and his natural affinity to you, I sense this kind of a meeting is happening between you and this new spirit guide. Okay, so for this new spirit guide, I do sense you owing a thank you to a certain member of your family. Okay, now this is again an ancestor who is like 4 generations before you. That is what is coming forth for you, but either way, he is bringing across this guide, and this guide will be a huge blessing for your life, is something that is coming forth. Now what is going to happen is your life is going to be divided into 2 parts where, you know, some things don't belong and parts where something do. For a very long time you will sort of be in the middle. You will be like, what is my truth, what is the truth about life? Like, you will struggle with this slightly because, like I said, you have that certain, stubborn streak about you. But understand, if you just let things happen, if you are okay being that in between stage, if you just consciously work towards coming out of that, lie in certain cases, what I'm getting here, and consciously move towards the truth, it'll get easier, like it always does. But I sense by 3, you are now being walked into one of the most difficult phases of your life. And I don't mean this in terms of difficulty in terms of your external situation. This is internally, this is an internal struggle that is happening in terms of what happens in the future and in terms of what has happened in the past. Like, you are right in the middle, and it is time you make a choice. Do you want to stick to the past? Do you want to stick to past relationships, people who were dishonest, or you are ready to move into the future with more honesty and clarity, is what is coming forth for you. Understand, you are not alone, and your guides, your ancestors are never going to leave you alone. Especially your ancestral blessings on you are very, very strong. So I do want to encourage you to keep doing a ritual for them, as simple as lighting a candle, because you owe them a big thank you for where you are in your spiritual journey as well. Because what I believe personally, if a person is very, very far ahead into their own spiritual practice, if they are walking a spiritual path themselves, it is mostly because of a blessing of an ancestor. Because understand, blessings can only come into our life if our ancestors are happy. If our ancestors are not happy, our life becomes one huge obstacle, one huge block. That's something I completely believe in, because that is something I've personally experienced. Okay, it is only after I made a space for my ancestors in my home, and I constantly honored them, that now my life became so much more easier. And that's something that is true for you as well, is what I see. Again, you need to be very conscious about certain patterns, certain behavioral patterns, because they are going to go out of your life. There is almost the sense of death and rebirth here. They're like night and day, and you are right in the middle. So you are right now right in the middle of massive transformation when it comes to your life. It is not going to be an easy process. It's going to take a lot out of you, but once you end up on the other side, you will be very glad this journey happened to you. Okay, and what this is doing is, this is making you into the strongest version of yourself. I sense a huge amount of rebirth happening here. This is almost like an initiation process, initiation into a membership that is very, very unique. Okay, so what is going to happen is, your ancestor is sort of helping you initiate into a special group. Maybe a shamanic group is what is happening here. But this entire thing that is going to happen to you, it is happening because of a purpose. Of course, I'm sure as we move into our later readings, after you've done the work, the purpose will become very, very clear. Okay, but right now I am not being guided towards what this purpose specifically is, but you are meant to do something specific that is coming forth. And this is just a journey of initiation that is going to be very important for you as you walk this path right now. Just be open to changes, challenges, be open to working with this new spirit guide, because one, he's very powerful and he means business, and it is a he. Okay, I sense this huge masculine energy here. Somebody who's strong, somebody who is not afraid to show tough love is what is coming through for you. Either way, I believe in you guys, pile 3. And if there's anybody who will be able to handle this kind of a shift, it is you. Understand, you're never alone. Your guides are with you. Your ancestors are sort of orchestrating this movement, is what I see. And anytime something is happening because of an ancestor, it is very powerful and it is meant for your highest good, because they are our family, and families always want to bring what is best for their kids, the generations after them. That is what is coming forth for you. I'll leave you here, pile 3. I'll see you in my next one. Bye. Hello, and if you've chosen pile 4, then this is what's coming through for you from your spirit guides. Let us look into what it's coming forth for you. Now, pile 4, what's coming forth for you is you need to become love. You need to understand that at the heart of everything, at the heart of every aspect of your life, lies love. And what is happening here is you are probably not allowing yourself to feel love at the very core of your existence. I do see a certain amount of hurt when it comes to you. Possibly you guys are very sensitive. You have given so much love away in the past, and some things have happened that have sort of shifted your perception about certain things. Don't let that happen. You need to be that soft version yourself. Don't let life's experiences, don't let people harden you, or your attitude towards love is something that's coming forth right now. Because even though you may not be in that aspect where you are hardened up, but there may be certain instances in the future which will make you question that aspect of love, is what is coming forth for you. So anytime you feel like that is happening to you, go back and remind yourself that you come out of love, and love in the end is everything there ever is in the world. Okay, also what is coming forth is when it comes to accepting people in your life, you have to weigh things very properly. What happens is you are chronic givers, pile 4, and that is something I've always observed about you. So be very, very careful about who you allow into your life, because what is happening for you in certain cases is you are giving infinitely, and the person who is with you, maybe this can be a friend, this can be a relative, a colleague, is not giving as much. In friendship, in relationship, it always has to be a relationship based on equal. So what is happening here is, or which may happen in the future, is you may give so much that you'll exhaust yourself. So please weigh in whether the person who is in your life, who will come into your life, deserves what you're willing to give out. Yeah, that's something that's really, really important for you right now. Also, what happens is, pile 4, you sometimes have very unrealistic visions of things, or probably you expect that the other person will be as good as you. But trust me, not everybody has a heart like you. There are going to be people who are different. I don't say they are bad, because everybody is unique to their own way. The way people express their love, the way people withhold their love sometimes is very unique to them and their life experience. Okay, but if you're expecting that what you give the other person will give as well, then you may be in for a certain amount of disappointment, is what is coming through. Okay, understand, if you want to give love, give it out of complete goodness. In certain cases, weigh it, because some people clearly don't deserve it. I'm going to just say it out loud. Okay, so just keep that in mind. One thing that's coming through very strongly for you here is there are certain things in your life that need to be done, like certain goals that need to be achieved, but for some reason you're distracted. You're distracted by certain things that are having their place in their life. What is happening is you're giving your attention to things, to people, to situations which do not really deserve your attention, and which is sort of distracting you from that final goal. That is something that I really see. But it is important, if you want to sort of achieve something, if you want to really reach a goal, it is time to stop procrastinating and really sit down and work towards it. That's something that's coming forth. Don't let people distract you. Okay, that's something that I'll really tell you. Also, what I see here for you is you need to take a look at the bigger picture of your life. Like, where are you and where do you want to be? I sense there is something you want to do, okay? Certain specific aspect that I want you to guys to look at. This is like you have a goal in mind, you have a final goal in mind, but you have no idea how to reach it, or you may find yourself slightly lost at this point of time. So right now I want you to take a step back, look at where you are and look at where you want to go, and then sort of lay down a plan and take baby step towards it, because this is like an alert. Life is alerting you towards something that you're missing is what is coming forth for you. Don't make decisions in a hurry is one thing that's coming forth as well. If you feel like you need to take some time when it comes to making some decisions, take all the time you need, okay? That's something that's really coming forth for you. Also, it's important for you to start something new here. This is like either a passion project or this is something you enjoy doing, because somewhere I see that the inner flame, the inner passion towards doing something, the inner passion to accomplishing something is really died out for you, and maybe that is why you're pushing certain things in the future, okay? That's something that's really happening. But it is important for you to feel that passion again and maybe start something again, like put that reset button and start again is what is coming forth. Start something with a beginner's mind again is one message that is coming forth for you again. What's coming through here as well, it'll help you if you start learning something again. It is important for you to become a student of life once again and see what life wants to teach you, because what I sense here is for a lot of people there is this aspect of learning something relating to your work that you need deeper information in. Probably you feel like you have all the knowledge in the world, but knowledge you have is almost like 1/3 of what you need to have. It's important for you to study, but study things in deep details is what is coming forth. And I need you to understand here is you need to take charge. You need to have that independence when it comes to knowledge, okay? Don't always rely on somebody else to teach you something. You need to have that passion within to learn things, okay? So don't be afraid to do that is something that's coming forth once again. What's happening here is there is a lot in your life that is waiting to happen. There is a lot that needs to be discovered, but one, you're procrastinating about it. There is something you need to learn, but you are for some reason wasting your time. Honestly, wasting your time is what is coming forth. So if there is a book you need to write, if there is a course you need to learn, if there is something you need to do which you're pushing for to another day, please don't do that. You're doing yourself the greatest amount of disservice. There is a gift that wants to come through you, but you are sort of becoming your own worst enemy. You're becoming an obstacle in your own path is what is coming forth for you, right? So what is important for you is to connect with yourself once again, to find that passion within you to start again is what is coming forth for you. Look at what you want to accomplish in your life, because you have sort of lost track towards this is what is coming forth for you. You're magical, you're capable of immense things. Take time to balance your life again. Take time to see where you're giving away your time freely. You need to prioritize pile 4. That is what is coming forth for you. People taking away your attention, unnecessary things taking away your attention needs to go. Set your goals, set your boundaries, and get down to work is what is coming forth for you from your guides at this point of time. Yeah, so those are your messages that your guides have to share with you. I wish you the very, very best, and I believe in your ability to start again. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.